It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction being yo 205. Oh! Back in that neighborhood. My brothers and sisters. Yesterday, y'all, on Sunday, I thought I was recording a video. Right? So, I do the whole video. Then when I go to look at my camera, I found out that it wasn't recording. And yesterday was Sunday. And y'all know who we watch over here on Sundays. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ballin' Man. Long story short, short story long. I thought I was going to put out another, our weekly Mr. Ballin' video. But it is what it is, man. If y'all ain't checked that Mr. Ballin' video out, y'all go check it out, man. It was a good one too. It's a good story, y'all. Make sure y'all go check that out. I just hate that I wasn't able, to watch it with my brothers and sisters because of technical difficulties, man. On Sunday, on Mr. Ballin' Day. Look, I'm getting back mad at it now, man. But I digress. It's Monday. Hope y'all doing excellent out there as always. Glad y'all came on back to the channel. As always, once again, to fuck with the bean. And we finna go to another one of our homeboy channel. And we make sure that we watch every month to check out his latest one of these type of videos. And y'all know who that man is. Dire Trip. Going back to Dire Trip, y'all. Title of the video: The 8 Bizarre and Shocking Crimes for June 2023. Every time we watch these, y'all, these crimes can go from somebody getting murdered in a crazy way to a adult doing something crazy to a child to somebody doing something crazy like out in public, like so somebody got there. I can remember at one video we watched, somebody was going into the grocery store and putting razors inside pizza. So people can eat it and get their shit cut up, they throat fucked up and possibly die. You know what I'm saying? Like, these damn videos be all over the place, man. And I'm just ready to see how shocking and bizarre these crimes is for 2023 of June. But before we see that, my brothers and sisters, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you might need. Get what you need. We back to Dire Trip once again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. Y'all got what y'all need? Y'all ready to go? Then let's fucking go.
Hey everybody, you know what time it is. While doing my researches for other cases, I always come across several cases each month that are too short to be their own video, but definitely worth talking about. I'm sure you know how it works by this point, so let's get into it.
And get whatever you may need.
So here we have, man beats neighbor to death with bag full of Pokemon cards. Last year on August 2nd, out in Sheffield, a city in South Yorkshire, England, a 31-year-old man named Andrew Hogg was seen attacking his neighbor, a man named Simon Wilkinson, in front of other residents after a brief altercation. One of the neighbors claimed that Andrew walked up to Simon's residence, screaming, "You called me a fucking nonce. Come out here and fight like a man." Apparently, nonce is a sex offender, mainly against kids. I had to look that up. When Simon came out of his house, Andrew started punching him and kicking him, knocking him to the ground and stomping on him. He then proceeded to beat him over the head with a big bag full of 5 metal boxes containing Pokemon cards. He then, wanting to make sure that Simon was definitely dead, slammed him over the head with a large piece of wood. It's stated that Andrew had briefly left the scene, but soon returned to end Simon's life in what he thought was an act of mercy, while in what the judge called a deluded state. When caught by the police, Andrew told the officers that he got carried away, in his own words, and murdered the man in cold blood. He told them that he felt the attack with the Pokemon cards was so brutal that he needed to make sure that he put him out of his misery. Andrew apparently, unsurprisingly, suffers from a psychotic disorder. He hadn't been taking his medication for some time at this point, self-medicating with weed instead. He later went on to plead guilty to murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 17 years, recommending he return to Rampton Secure Hospital where he had previously been held. He had already been convicted multiple times for violent behavior, 7 times to be exact, in various different situations, including one where he attacked an emergency services worker. The judge told the public to be wary of the dangers of self-medicating. This case is a stark reminder of the dangers of cannabis use, particularly with someone with such a complex mental history as his, she said.
I don't agree with that. Y'all know I am a cannabis advocate. If anything, I feel like the cannabis should help him calm down even more. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing gonna help him if he ain't taking his damn medication. Ain't nothing gonna save him. All I'm trying to say is the weed ain't fuck him up even more. It didn't make him even more crazy. When has weed made somebody crazy? I'm just saying. But this will, I hate to say regular, but like a normal type of murder. Somebody beat somebody to death. It's just weird as fuck that it was Pokemon cards. Like, I think that's the only time it's safe to say on planet Earth that somebody done got killed by Pokemon cards. But you never know. Fucking with goddamn human beings. Let's go.
So here we've got inmates at Oklahoma jail subjected to torture by hearing Baby Shark on loop, lawsuit says. Here we have a truly cartoonishly evil case in which prison inmates were forced to stand in painful positions for hours on end, all while the children's song Baby Shark played on loop. Baby Shark is a nursery rhyme type song that exploded in popularity back in 2019. Even if you didn't have kids, it was hard to avoid spotting the mascot from time to time at least. I can't play the song here, but the lyrics play out like this. Baby shark, doo-doo, doo-doo. Baby shark, doo-doo, doo-doo. Baby shark, doo-doo, doo-doo. Baby shark. It isn't the most complicated song. So back in 2019, inmates in this Oklahoma jail were subjected to what has been called cruel and inhumane punishment, where they were forced into standing stress positions while the song would endlessly loop. This punishment would often last for hours at a time. A federal civil rights lawsuit was put together as a result, describing the punishment routine as torture events. The
Hey, that shit is like torture for real, y'all. I don't give a damn what song it is. But if I'm locked up in like a room or something and I keep hearing this shit over and over, just on loop, on loop, on loop for a long ass time, for hours, I'ma start to damn near be going crazy. Like, that shit gonna start fucking with my brain. It's gonna start fucking with me. It's fucking with me now just thinking about listening to the same song over and over and over and over and over and over times 1,000. You know what I'm saying? And I will say it's some songs that I could probably listen to for 1,000 times in a row, and it'll take longer than some other songs that just shit. You can play some songs about 10 times in a row and I've been went fucking crazy. And that damn Baby Shark, doo-doo, boy, that shit will drive you insane, man. That's torture for real.
Defendants on the lawsuit were listed as the Oklahoma County Sheriff Tommy Johnson III, 2 former jail officers, the Board of County Commissioners, and the Jail Trust. The lawsuit says that the defendants failed to properly train and supervise the officers as they blasted Baby Shark all up in that place. It said that the mistreatment from these officers was well known amongst the supervisors and no action was ever taken to stop them. One of the victims, going by Mitchell, was pulled from his cell by a few officers at around midnight one day. He was thrown into a room, forced into what is called a standing stress position, while his hands were handcuffed behind his back, and then forced to remain that way for almost 4 hours while the jailers blasted Baby Shark on loop. The lawsuit says, Mitchell was forced to listen to the song over and over while physically restrained in the attorney visitation room. The volume of the song was so loud that it was reverberating down the hallways. 2 other inmates, going by Basco and Hedrick, were also forced into the same kind of situation back in 2019, according to the lawsuit. Another man named Foreman was forced into the same position, but luckily wasn't forced to listen to the song. He was, however, kicked in the back and slammed into the wall while being spit on by an officer, though.
Wow.
It was further noted that the plaintiffs posed no threats to the officers during any of these occurrences. The lawsuit actually officially said that, quote, "the music can be hard on the ears." An actual clinical psychologist said, "Certain pitches hit the auditory receptors in ways that are physiologically painful. These are high-pitched tones and screechy elongated sounds like nails across a chalkboard." So I guess you have scientific proof that Baby Shark is annoying. News media attempted to reach out to the defendants in this case, but they received no comment. Their lawyer refused to comment as well. Then, in October of 2020, two of the former jail employees and their supervisor were smacked with charges of misdemeanor cruelty when the prosecutors were able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the torture took place. It was unfortunate that I could not find a felony statute to fit this scenario. I would have preferred filing a felony on this behavior, said the district attorney. The officers who were charged ended up resigning, and their supervisor went ahead and retired. One of the plaintiffs, Vasco, was released from prison after this took place, although he reoffended and ended up back in jail in 2022. He passed away in police custody, with the medical examiner determining that he had died of an accidental fentanyl overdose. Something his lawyer finds very suspicious. Last month, in April of 2023, the former jail guards in the lawsuit were finally sentenced. After pleading no contest to the charges against them, they got away with really nothing but fines and probation in the end. And here we've got...
What y'all think about that one? Do y'all think that they the officers involved should have got charged? Like I think the attorney said that it wasn't no felony, but what I'm saying is, do y'all think what they did should have been like a felony charge if it was possible, or do y'all think a misdemeanor is okay for that one? I don't know. I'm leaning towards that. That's some felony type shit that they did, and it just show you the corruption of just the damn officers in the fucking jail where people gotta live in. You know what I'm saying? The people who watching over you is corrupt as fuck, and there's a lot of shit that go on in jails and prisons all over the United States, all over the world. Y'all already know that. Last thing I want to say is I forgot to factor in if when you stuck somewhere and they playing this damn song over and over, if they playing that shit loud as fuck, like blasting in your ears loud, oh man, that make it 10 times worse. I forgot to think about that part. Crazy. Let's keep going. Number 3.
Missouri man fatally shoots 18-year-old over Facebook post. How about a case from Missouri? Here we have a case from out in Sikeston where an 18-year-old man named Isaiah Craig Fitzgerald ended up losing his life over one of the most trivial things you could ever imagine, a laughing emoji. Another young man, Tanner Watkins, had posted a shiny new picture with his girlfriend. In response to this picture, Isaiah hit that react button, deciding to go with a laugh react for reasons unknown. Tanner responded to this digital laughter, taking offense, replying with, "What's funny?" Isaiah responded in turn, saying, "Trying to get some bread, huh? And shit, I don't know, you the one on my dock," clown emoji. Tanner didn't appreciate this response, saying, "Nah, you always on some funny shit. TF you even react to my shit for anyways. I'm ready though. Thumbs up, arrow hitting a target emoji." Those apparently were fighting words. Isaiah clapped back with, "I seen Alyssa on it, why would I not?" Tanner said, "TF that got to do with it? You feel some type way? That's my shorty and it's all smoke behind her too. You got me confused for the wrong nigga. Watch and see." Isaiah ended the thread with, "My bad, I know I got the wrong nigga." But it didn't end here. This was when the two agreed to meet up in a park to fight. Isaiah, for reasons unknown, decided to bring his girlfriend along as well. One car arrived at the scene carrying 4 people and another arrived at the scene carrying 5 people. When everyone showed up to the park, a shooting took place. Both sides ended up shooting at each other. Tanner and his friend shot Isaiah and his 18-year-old girlfriend with an AK-47. Isaiah ended up passing away, and his girlfriend was taken to the hospital for life-threatening injuries, going into surgery just recently. The police were shortly out on the scene once they heard the reports of gunfire from several local residents. The chief of public safety made a statement, saying, "They were communicating through social media, and it looked like they were trying to meet up at a location to have a fight." All of the firearms were collected as evidence. The police noted that any sort of incident like this is extremely unusual for the area, leaving the small police force pretty baffled. Tanner was arrested alongside an 18-year-old friend, Caleb Ramsey. Both were charged with murder, 3 counts of assault, 4 counts of unlawful use of a weapon, and armed criminal action. Here we have one of my...
That shit, that was just, man, it's crazy, but it's so sad, man. These dudes literally, both of them lost their life in a way. But one of them, like, literally lost his life. But they literally did all that because of a Facebook. Like, you know what I'm saying? That just show you how this social media is. Great as social media is for the world, for all of us. It's also can be the worst for us, man. Like, that was so petty. Over Facebook posts, emoji. Somebody end up dead and somebody gotta end up in prison for the rest of their life. But I gotta blame Tanner the most because you the one who killed him. But at the same time, Isaiah and his friend was shooting at them, and both of them agreed to meet up. And maybe I'll put this on a Let Me Talk to You one day. But this was a long time ago, y'all. I was like about 21 or something. But I got into it with some folks on Facebook, and we was almost about to meet up, and ain't no telling what the fuck was gonna happen. So I get it, cause I done been there before, but God is good that I done matured to that right there would never be the reason that I end up dead or in jail. Hell no. Let's go.
Favorite headlines of all time. Pure evil black bird named Derek terrorizing Yorkshire village and attacking children. Alright, so apparently there's a little black bird that has become somewhat of a cult icon out in Rossington near Doncaster out in the UK. Some people though say that there's a dark side to this black bird. They say that he loves to steal food and terrorize kids in this South Yorkshire community. Apparently everyone in this community knows about this bird, who they have named Derek, and recognize his antics. He quickly became somewhat of a celebrity. Back in 2019, Derek even got his own Facebook page where people would post pictures and updates about him and all of his shenanigans.
Wow.
It appears that all the fame has gone to Derek's head recently, with multiple headlines coming forth calling him a nuisance and an utter menace. One local mother told a harrowing tale about how Derek had viciously attacked her children, leaving the family, in her own words, petrified. She added, "It comes to something when kids can't even go into their own garden without being petrified because of that bloody bird Derek dive-bombing them and trying to attack them. So, to whoever owns that horrible thing, if you want to try to domesticate a bird like that, then keep it at home because it hurts my kids. There will be hell to pay, and I don't care who that offends. The thing is a menace, attacking kids in the school playground, on the street, in their own garden. If it was any other animal, it would have been put to sleep following the first attack on a child." This woman wasn't the only one to come out and try to cancel Derek, the feathered fiend. Another local resident said that he saw Derek viciously attack a child in the street and that he was forced to step in and intervene. He described Derek as pure evil, saying, "Is this the horrible thing that was attacking a young boy a few weeks ago opposite Baths? I had to stop my car in the middle of the road to help him. That thing was pure evil." Derek does have his allies and loyal supporters, though. Some other parents in the community say that Derek is actually a little angel and that their children would often give snacks to him and play with him. One of these mothers said, "He landed on my son a few years ago when he was walking to the bus stop. I think he just wanted a piggyback." Another gave her testimony, saying, "My daughter has told me a few times that Derek has caused all the kids to go outside at playtime at school. She said most of the kids love him." Another begged the angry folks out there to leave Derek alone, saying that he wouldn't harm a fly, adding, "Poor Derek. I know the bird. Please leave it alone. It means no harm. Many thanks." The controversy around Derek isn't only divisive within the community, but within families as well. The cancellation of Derek is tearing families apart, with one mother writing that one of her kids who was attacked by Derek hates him, while the other child loves him. She said, "Derek was a regular in our garden. My young son hates him as he scratched his face. My daughter loves him. During lockdown, he was sat on her arm for well over an hour." Derek, when pressed for comment, did not respond. Florida man arrested after...
That story got my head scratching on so many levels. That's probably the weirdest fucking story I ever heard from Dive Trip on these type videos, man. Because My number one thing is, number one, y'all, is Derek real? Do y'all really think Derek is real? Like, I'm not saying that I don't think the bird is real, but I'm talking about, do y'all think that's one actual bird? Like a specific, that's Derek, that's flying all around the city, meeting all these different people, everybody in town know Derek? Or do y'all think that's just a species or whatever of a bird, a type of bird, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's multiple of them, but everybody just always thinking that it's Derek? Like, they see this same, they see the same pigeon, they see the same hawk, and they think it's really just that one fucking that's Derek. When that one hawk they seeing is just identical to a whole bunch of hawks that's out here in the city. Y'all get what I'm saying, man? That's what I'm saying. Like, is Derek real, or did that person see a Derek and that person seen a bird named Kim? But Kim and Derek just look like each other, and that's where they getting confused at. I don't even know if Derek real. This one here blowing my mind, and you can goddamn think either way. Is Derek really attacking humans, or is Derek a nice bird? It's like, I don't know, man. I believe that damn town that started like an urban legend about Derek. I just gotta go with that. I just gotta go with that. What this one say, man? That one right there got my head itching, y'all. Like, what the fuck? Florida man arrested after disrespectfully consuming roommate's key lime pie. Let's go.
After disrespectfully consuming roommate's key lime pie. Where would one of these videos be without a Florida man case? Well, here we've got one where an elderly man out in Fort Myers went out of his way to steal a tasty treat from his roommate. This roommate has done his best to find his mother's favorite dessert for her birthday, a key lime pie. He locked it away in his fridge, keeping it there for the time being. He told his roommate, David Powelson, that under no circumstance was he to eat this pie. David, however, is an asshole. He apparently lost all control over his willpower. He simply couldn't go on living his life knowing that this perfectly good pie was in the refrigerator. One Friday afternoon at around 5 p.m., David sat down in the living room with the pie. His roommate, the owner of the pie, couldn't believe his eyes. Not only was David eating the pie he specifically told him not to touch, but he was eating the entire thing, leaving not even a piece behind. "Why didn't you just save me one piece?" the roommate exclaimed in agony as he confronted David. An epic showdown took place, and David decided that he was left with no choice but to de-escalate the situation. He went into the kitchen, filled up 2 glasses of cold water, and dumped them all over his roommate's head. This roommate then called the police. The cops responded to the call, heading out to the home. When they arrived, the victim told the police all about the pie dispute and the assault with the water. The police called the whole thing a physical domestic dispute. They did note, however, that the victim didn't actually suffer any injuries during the altercation and that only water was thrown on him. Even so, David Powelson was taken into custody and charged with 1 felony count of first-degree aggravated battery on a person of age 65 or older.
Wow.
Under Florida laws, anyone convicted on that charge could face up to 30 years in prison and a maximum fine of up to $10,000. Under Florida laws, anyone convicted on that charge could face up to 30 years in prison and a maximum fine of up to $10,000. Best case scenario, anyone convicted on those charges is subject to a minimum of 3 years in prison. But he's really only going to get convicted if the prosecution can prove that he caused bodily harm, disability, or disfigurement, or if they can manage to get the water to count as a deadly weapon. He'll probably be fine, but the pie will never come back. And now...
And that one crazy too. It's weird as fuck. It's crazy as fuck. And it's petty, like the Facebook shit. People get, but it was only a fight. Thank God. That's what I'm trying to say, man. It was only a fight. Ain't nobody lose their life. It's fucked up that he in jail right now, but he should get out. And ain't it so weird that they charging him with a felony for pouring water on somebody? Now that sounds like a misdemeanor to me. That's what I'm saying. These laws and stuff, man, we need to rewrite some of this shit and make it make more sense. How in the fuck? I understand, yeah, that shit can be battery, I guess, but it didn't cause physical harm. So I just feel like you shouldn't even be able to charge nobody with that. It's like that man's spending time in prison, jail, whatever, on some bullshit, man. Like, you shouldn't even be able to charge. You shouldn't even be able to arrest somebody for that. I don't know, man. But like I said, at least ain't nobody die from the shit. Petty as fuck, though. Let's go.
Now, police want to know who put crack pipe vending machines on Long Island. Here we have a very weird case in which the police are trying to find out who in the hell is responsible for installing a bunch of crack pipe vending machines all over the Coram area of Long Island in New York. After receiving a good number of complaints from various residents over the course of a weekend, the police came out to find that, lo and behold, there were 3 of these machines out there. The machines were labeled as pens, but their actual intended usage was blatantly obvious to anyone who actually purchased one. A city councilman said, "It is not illegal to sell the pens and it is not illegal to sell a pipe, but they are considered drug paraphernalia and they were being dispensed from a machine that was installed illegally per town code." The communications director for the town of Brookhaven said that the machines were actually repurposed tampon dispensers. 2 of the machines were found on public streets, while the 3rd was found outside of an apartment complex. The police department came out and removed the illegally installed machines. They then turned to the public to ask them for help in identifying who might have set them up. As of now, the incident is still being investigated, so the cops haven't really placed a numerical value on what kind of fine might be appropriate. The town supervisor doesn't know whether or not there are more of these machines out there, saying, "We are working with the Suffolk County Police Department to identify more locations and will cooperate fully to find those responsible and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law." And now,
That one was crazy as fuck too, man. Like, I think this Don Trip most weirdest, like, one we done watched yet, y'all. Like, this one here is just weird as fuck. Who in the fuck selling crack pipes out of a vending machine in public? Like, on public goddamn property? On, like, nobody would even, who would even fucking sell anything? Coke, anything, bro. Drinks, snacks, who would fucking just have vending machines out in public and think they can get away with that shit, man? Like you said, it's public property. And not only is it public property, man, whoever doing this shit, they had to know they were going to get caught. Because look what they selling. Drug paraphernalia, man. That shit here weird, bro. Like, some of this shit, if he ain't have no video for this shit, I wouldn't even, it would be hard to believe. But like I said, you never know fucking with human beings. Let's go.
Wants answers after man eaten alive by bed bugs in county jail, attorney says. Now we have a bizarre story in which a family attorney out in Atlanta, Georgia, said that a man died while in police custody after being eaten alive by insects and bed bugs. According to the attorney, Michael D. Harper, the man, LaShawn Thompson, was locked up in the Fulton County Jail for 3 months before he was eventually found unresponsive in his jail cell. He had quite obviously passed away in there. The conditions in his cell were, let's say, much...
Man, do you see that shit? How in the fuck could you have somebody living in that? Look at that picture, y'all. Oh my God, man. That is so fucking gross, bro. That is so fucking nasty, man. And they had that man living in that, bro. That's why I said, man, the people, the damn officers who supposed to be watching over you and protecting you and all that up in these damn prison and jails. Man, that shit torture too, y'all. That's fucking torture. Oh, that's torture.
Less than ideal. Harper said, "What Mr. Thompson was housed in was not fit for a diseased animal. He did not deserve this." Mr. Thompson had been arrested on a misdemeanor battery charge back in June of 2022. Once he was thrown into jail, he ended up getting placed into the psychiatric wing once the officials determined that he had somewhat severe mental health issues. His family was even able to obtain records that showed that both the detention officers and the medical staff knew very well that his health was rapidly deteriorating and did absolutely nothing to give him any medical aid or otherwise help him out. They literally watched his health decline until he died, the family later stated. One detention officer reportedly refused to give him CPR because he was, in his own words, freaked out upon seeing the state of the body. Thompson had been chewed up by bed bugs and other insects to the point where the body was in a horrific state. The attorney suggests that, due to the severe neglect, someone has to be held responsible for this. In fact, he feels that, given the reprehensible state of the jail cells, the whole building probably needs to go, saying, "Someone has to be held accountable for his death. The Fulton County Jail must be closed and replaced." The sheriff's office didn't want to respond to any request for comments. As of where we are now, this case has yet to come to any sort of conclusion. Thompson's family and attorney are still pushing for action. And
that one right there is the one that got me the most pissed off. It's crazy too, but that got me pissed off, man. That family need to sue the shit out of their ass. That family need to be paid some kind of money. Like I always say, y'all, of course, money ain't gonna never be able to bring him back. But they need to get the shit sued out of them. Number two, that whole goddamn jail cell need to be closed indefinitely. Need to shut that bitch down. I don't know. That bitch can't be passing health protocols or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. What are inspectors at? Do the inspector not go into these prisons and jails? Do they not give a fuck how nasty that shit is in there? Like, that shit need to be shut the fuck down. That was gross, man. And that dude was living in that shit with bed bugs and shit. Man.
now, Massachusetts woman protests wrongful eviction by releasing swarm of bees on police. Here we've got a case that's undoubtedly pretty weird. A woman in Massachusetts was charged with multiple counts of assault and battery after she unleashed a hell swarm of bumblebees on some police who were trying to serve an eviction. It wasn't even her eviction. The police officers had arrived at a local residence to serve a court-ordered eviction in October of 2022. They were met with local protesters supporting black homeowners. Shortly after, a 55-year-old woman, Rory Woods, appeared before them. Rory, who doesn't even live there, showed up in a beekeeper suit with a trailer full of bees. She jumped out, ran into the trailer, and started shaking and jostling the beehives, creating chaos. She released hundreds and hundreds of bees upon the officers. An official for the county said, "Never in all my years leading the Hampton County Sheriff's Civil Process Division have I seen something like this. I hope that these out-of-county protesters will reconsider using such extreme measures in the future because they will be charged and prosecuted." Rory was thrown into handcuffs when she was told that several officers on the scene were allergic to bees. Several of the officers had already been stung as well. Her response was, simply, "Oh, you're allergic? Good." Rory is now facing 7 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. Neither she or her lawyer would respond for comment. One officer ended up in the hospital but made a full recovery. Rory would have faced much harder charges if the situation had gotten any worse. Once again, thank you for watching my video, and a special thanks to everyone who sent in suggestions for this month's video. Both the Baby Shark story, the Pokemon card story, and the Missouri story were all sent in just right before I was ready to get this video compiled, so that was perfect timing. If you found the video interesting, please give it a like, it helps out in the algorithm, leave a comment if you want to talk about something, and subscribe if you want to see more. Follow me on social media if you want, I do stuff there. And if you want to support the channel even further, I have a Patreon account which I always keep down in the description below. There you can see videos early, ad-free, and uncensored. Speaking of which, shout out to the top patrons. We've got Anna B, Sunrise.
Shout out to you, Dial Trip. That one there was the most weird one I think I'd watch, y'all. It was a lot of stories just like if you, like I said, if we didn't sit right here and watch this shit and somebody just told me, hey, you know, it was a lady who tried to attack a police by releasing some bees on them because they was trying to evict somebody from a house that wasn't even theirs. Like, you can't make this shit up, man. You cannot write a book, a fictional story about this shit. This shit like this have to be based on a true story, and if this shit is true, crazy, man. This was, man. Like I said, the one that got me the most upset was that dude who died from the bed bugs and shit. His living condition was fucking horrible. I can't even remember all the damn stories right now, y'all. There was a lot to take in, man. This shit right here was a lot to take in, y'all. Another great video from Dial Trip, man. I'm gonna let y'all go now, cause my head going all type of places, man. Think about all this damn crazy shit, y'all. Y'all just make sure y'all hit that like button. comment, subscribe, and do all that for me. And until I see y'all again, my friends, love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.